Here we go. It's the herd hierarchy, our top 10 teams in the NFL.
Herd hierarchy.
Time is now. Let's go.
The top 10 NFL teams according to college. Number 10.
Listen, what do you want me to do with Detroit? They're reeling. They're still 9-4, and they still have the number 3 offense in the league. What do you want me to do? Bail on them? I like Jared Goff. I think their offensive line's excellent. They can run the football. They've gotten very turnover prone in the last 3 to 4 weeks, and that's an issue. I do not think they're a great team, but they are 8-1 when they allow 28 or fewer. Now, they're not doing that much lately, but I think Chicago, I think they bounce back and play a very, very good football game against Denver. I got them at 10.
Number 9.
Miami, what do you want me to do? It's an offensive league. They're 8-0 when Tyreek Hill has over 100 yards, and we've got a lack of corners in the NFL, so he's going to have over 100 yards several times before the end of the season. They're the number 1 offense and the number 1 passing offense. I love Tyreek. I love their coach. I like Tua. I thought their defense last night at the end of the game was not very good, but I can't bail on, even though they're the tanning salon of the NFL, great briefly and then disappear, I'm going to stick with Miami at 9.
Number 8.
I think the Rams are underrated. First team to lead the Ravens in the fourth quarter of the season. To take, they had a lead, right? Hold a lead. I think their offense is playing well. I think McVay's having one of his best seasons. I think Stafford now is mostly healthy. Cooper Kupp never is. But Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams, the running back, I think it's a really good offense. The defense is Aaron Donald, who gets double and triple teamed, and a bunch of kids, but their draft picks have hit. I don't think this team, it would not shock me if they won a playoff game. Matt Stafford leads the NFL with 10 touchdowns over the last 3 games. He's getting good protection, and he is playing great football. Most underrated team in the league is the Rams. I have them at 8.
Number 7.
I mean, Kevin Stefanski deserves credit. Cleveland at 7. They've used 4 different quarterbacks. I can't believe how good Joe Flacco is. I can't believe it. He was on the couch. They're 3-1 against teams that currently lead their division. It's a really good football team. Now, with Joe Flacco, there's a ceiling. There's an offensive ceiling. But, I mean, if you watch that Jaguars game, they pushed those guys around for 3 quarters. Cleveland at 7.
Number 6.
Listen, Philadelphia's getting beat badly, but at least it's by the Niners and Dallas. They're not losing the schlubs. This is a good football team that's got some fatigue. They play the Cowboys, and then the Chiefs, and then the Niners, and then the Bills, and then the Cowboys. And now they get a Monday night game, Seahawks, a bit of a break. I still think their defense has gotten exposed, but I also think huge snap counts in some of these games. Their defense is on the field too much because the offense is struggling. I think they right the ship starting with Seattle next week.
Number 5.
Buffalo. Yeah, listen, again, what am I supposed to do? They have arguably the best athlete in the world playing quarterback, and they are 7-0 after a bye with Sean McDermott, who I've been highly critical of. I don't like the fact that Gabe Davis didn't have any catches. I don't like the fact they don't have a consistent run game. But, I mean, Josh Allen leads the NFL in total yards. It's just they're productive. He is a playmaker. And you get to this point in the season, you can't bury teams because they have a bad Sunday. I got Josh Allen. You've always got a chance with Josh Allen.
Number 4.
Kansas City. Yes, they've lost 3 of 4. What do you want me to do? I think Rashee Rice has now established himself as a number 1 wide receiver. He's a kid, but he's good. The defense is going to get healthier. Listen, they're a toe off sides from beating Buffalo. They're a bad call against Green Bay from potentially tying it up. It is a young team. There are growing pains, but they've got a very easy schedule going forward. Patriots, Raiders, Bengals, Chargers, who now don't have Justin Herbert. Remember, Brady's Super Bowl in Tampa. Remember down the stretch, they got a scheduling break. They got some momentum, created some inertia. I think Kansas City's fine. And you know I always think the final 4 teams can win the Super Bowl.
Number 3.
Baltimore, I move them up a spot. They didn't play particularly great against the Rams, but some of that is the Rams. Number 1 rushing offense. There's a lot to like about this team. I think Lamar Jackson has become a much better situational passer and much more patient than anybody wants to give him credit for. Flowers is a wildly entertaining and talented speed guy on the outside. I like the organization. I like Harbaugh. Their defense allows less than 18 points a game. I think Baltimore's a really good team and will end up in the AFC Championship.
Number 2.
Dallas. Never really loved Dallas. Now they got a great kicker, so that takes some of my concerns about situational football and Mike McCarthy away. Send him out to kick a 58-yarder. That's a real deal there in Dallas. That takes away a lot of those go for it, not go for it moments. Just send the kicker out and get 3 points. And I also think their offensive line is a mix of old and new. Their receiving core, old and new. There's a lot to like. I think since the bye, they've been a different football team. You got to give Mike McCarthy credit, and I've always liked Dak, never loved him. This year, I love him.
Number 1.
I mean, what are we talking about? They're 17-0 are the Niners when Purdy, McCaffrey, and Debo are healthy, including the playoffs. 17-0. It is easily the best roster. And Purdy now in his second year of starting games has grown. There's not a lot of criticisms here. There really isn't. I've even had to acknowledge with Brock Purdy, he makes too many big-time throws to not be considered a franchise quarterback. And they just don't lose games. I'm going to tell you something. I think it's remarkable that they have attempted the fewest passes in the NFL and are third in passing yards. They are hyper-efficient with playmakers everywhere, and when they're healthy, cross your fingers, because blowouts ensue. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.